for a reason. It's rampant. What are the reasons that males in the United States have our genitalia mutilated at birth? Well, it's one claim that it's for health reasons. It's easier to clean. How lazy are you? You can wash the rest of your body, but you can't wash that? Come on now. It's for sanitation reasons, huh? You genitally mutilate us at birth for health reasons, right? I don't know any guy that doesn't clean or his equipment. Yeah, he's gonna keep it clean. Any sort of unpleasantness down there is dealt with quickly. Any sort of itchies or scratchies or bumpies. That's not a minor adjutant. It's not like poking yourself in the finger. Yeah, your fingers are sensitive, but they're not sensitive like that. Why do males protect their parts? Because they're sensitive. Because they are sensitive. It don't feel good to get kicked there. It don't feel good to get hit there. It don't feel good to have a rash down there or bumpies or fungi. It don't feel good. There's a reason that in Dukes-Ryu Ninjutsu, they teach you that the three preliminary striking areas are the eyes, knees, and groin. Anatomically, in that region, we are different. If you kick a woman there, she'll probably go to the hospital bleeding. The way the pelvises are shaped differently, and of course, there's no soft parts in the front to help cushion the blow. Our parts are external, though. That cushioning comes at a price. That is the part of our bodies. Cushioning the blow. Ow! That's how you start our lives off here, is by mutilating our genitals. And one of the other excuses, and this is the one that I hear the most. Well, it's for her pleasure. You know, it feels better for a woman if you're circumcised. I wouldn't know, but I don't see that as a valid reason for mutilating an infant. I don't think that a 40-year-old woman telling you, oh, I prefer a circumcised penis in my sexual life, I don't think that that validates chopping the parts off of a child. That's gross. Why do we do so many things for her pleasure when they don't benefit us? We get told about how people are mutilating women's genitalia in other countries and we're supposed to feel sorry for them. Well, I do. I do feel sorry for them. I'm also disgusted by the fact that you will ignore genital mutilation in this country at birth for her pleasure. You will ignore that, but you're going to complain that the same thing is done in foreign countries to a different group. You will ignore it happening to men in this country to complain about it happening to women somewhere else. That is how bad the sexism in this country has become. How many of you guys do what your wife tells you? Those of you who are saying, I don't do what my wife tells me, well, what that tells me is that you're doing it behind her back. She ain't going to like that when she finds out that I do what I want. Only works out until she leaves you. You can't tell your wife how you voted because she might blow your head off. How do we know this? Because in the last couple of elections, women have literally murdered their husbands for the way that they voted. Most of my stalkers and most of my viewers are women. When guys want to impress these women, they want to get some nookie from these women. Oh, well, I got a great idea. They don't like Sean, we'll go after Sean. We'll pick on Sean, we'll harass Sean, we'll mess with Sean. Nobody cares about Sean, and they're right. My friends and family have shown they don't care. Why would they? I have a penis. And a mutilated one at that. I'm not happy all the time. I'm damaged goods. Oh yeah, plus I've been chopped up against my will, without my permission. Being told that it's for her pleasure. What about his? What about his? A man is not allowed to find sex pleasurable or you shame him. What about a man who doesn't have sex? Like me. Someone who's not interested in that. Then all of a sudden, I'm the one that you blame for every person that ever raped you, every person who ever molested you. Because you're not worth a... And you're not. I don't want the drama. I don't want some woman treating me like I am property. Any more than any woman wants a man treating her like she's property. And yes, I understand that there are women out there who have mental problems and want to be abused. I understand that. But that doesn't make it okay to pretend that every woman wants to be abused. There are some homeless people who choose to be homeless. That doesn't mean that every homeless person chooses to be homeless. Homelessness is abuse. People who choose to be homeless either A, have money so they're not going to get victimized like that, or they can buy their way out. And those ones are very few and far between. We've got a lot more right now because we've got the van lifers. You know, the ones who think that moving into a creepy Chimo van and driving around the country in it, treating it like it's an RV. No, it's a creepy Chimo van to most of the population, just so you know. They see your creepy white van pulling up, it creeps them out. To them, you're a homeless person. You are exactly the same in your brand new RV as Camp Hope in Washington State. You are exactly the same. To them, anyway. There's a lady who was recently speaking about her experience with the van life. This is glamping, all right? You guys just didn't realize when you invested all your money into that it's not exactly as legal as you thought it was. Some of y'all are white girls and you get away with a whole lot more. Some of you got parents that you can call. If you're one of them brand new glampers, yeah, you probably got parents that you can call. You're in a brand new van and the cops really don't want to mess with you. They're only messing with you because somebody's saying, hey, there's a creepy white friggin' creeper van outside of my house with tinted windows and it's been there for 3 days. For a woman, she's more likely to be able to call her parents or call a friend and get monetary assistance immediately. Let's hear your van breaks down on the side of the road. Now, either they're able to help or they're not. If you're a female, they're more likely to. If you're a female on the side of the road with a tire, people probably are going to stop. If you're a male, not likely. On my way back from Virginia in 2016, I saw somebody in military garb, obviously a serviceman, changing his tire. And nobody was stopping. I pulled up and I offered to help. He said that he had it covered and he had some buddies on the way. And he did. And they helped him. He didn't need my help, and that was fine. But at least I offered when nobody else did. The other thing is I offered with the intent of actually doing so, of actually assisting him. I didn't pull up to him and say, hey, I'll help you change your tire if you need help with that. I wasn't sure what exactly was going on, but it appeared to me that he'd been there for a while. Why wasn't his tire changed? Maybe he didn't have a spare because he said he had a buddy on the way, or some buddies on the way. And they did come and they did change his tire. I didn't see them pull it out of his vehicle or theirs, but he got it changed. He had help there in person where he needed it. If what he needed was another tire, I couldn't have bought him a new tire, but I could have driven him down and gotten him a tire, brought it back to his vehicle. If he had trusted me with his money because he didn't want to leave the vehicle by itself, which probably wouldn't have happened because I'm a stranger, living in it was a vehicle just like this one, except it was black. It was a Honda Civic hatchback. The one that I bought from David and Laura Nelson of Chapel, Nebraska. The one that had the problem with the steering column. The one that got busted in Virginia. The one that I got that job at Subway so that I could pay for that car, even though I was only supposed to be gone for 2 weeks. David and Laura Nelson wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to leave until they'd been paid. They got paid for their vehicle. By that point, I had a job, though. I was working at Subway. And that, right there, with Natalie having a grand total of just me as a support network, not being there, not returning after the 2 weeks that I said I would be gone. I didn't keep my word. I was gone longer than 2 weeks. I got the vehicle, though. When it broke down, I got it fixed. She wanted me to visit her in Virginia. I went to Virginia. Jamie Curtis needed rescued in South Dakota, so I went to South Dakota and rescued her and her son. I went all over the place in that thing. I've gone all over the place in this thing. no matter what, the fact that I'm male gets to be used as an excuse for harming me my entire life, as if I'm some sort of a pervert just because I exist. After mutilating me genitalia for her pleasure and reducing mine, where am I the predator in all of this? For asking people to stop treating me like a predator just because I exist? Of course, it don't matter much, does it? Because my personal opinion, I use the thing for urinating. Matter of fact, the fact that that part of my anatomy exists is a nuisance. First thing in the morning, I don't want to be pissing in my face. I don't want to be standing all awkward over the toilet, pushing that thing in a funky direction. You think it's like that because we wake up horny? No, it's because we gotta pee. We have to pee. Our body is trying to prevent us from pissing all over ourselves while we're sleeping. Common sense, folks. Maybe you should have paid attention when you had health class and they taught you about human reproduction. What part did you pay attention to? Where to put it? I stick up for the other victims. I also speak out if they're selling a false narrative. Some of those people get both. Zaid Atkinson sold a false narrative, a racist narrative, because he's a racist. Showed himself to be a racist. For the victory. For the victory. He knows. Sammy Leon Lawrence IV knows. I know. The cops know. Zaid Atkinson for surely knows that he was targeted because they thought he was homeless. Zaid Atkinson for surely has seen John with his little grabber going around Boulder, Colorado picking up trash. Just so you know, that man has also been ticketed for littering when he was picking up trash. Of course, he was white and homeless. Had a beard. Who cares? Who cares? Special interest groups don't care. Most important part, though, is that he is male. You want to sell a false narrative? That's not right. If somebody breaks your wrist because they wanted to assume you were homeless so they could do it and get away with it, but it turns out you weren't homeless, and you want to pretend that they did it because you're black? No. And if you're going to sell that narrative knowing it's a lie, no, sir, you ain't right in the head. That doesn't mean you weren't a victim. I speak out about my predators for a reason. I speak out about them in abundance. I'm not heard because of my genitalia. There's no group that's going to fight for my rights because of my skin color. There are no special interest groups who actually care about us. Now, they got these groups for people in wheelchairs that are run and operated by people in wheelchairs. We got groups for black people that are run and operated by black people. We got special interest groups for women, run by women. But how many of these groups for autism are run by autistic people? Literally not a single one. Autism, my piece of the puzzle? No. You're lining pockets at our expense. You're killing us. We have no representation. None. We have pretty observations under the law. They observe and acknowledge that these things exist, and they create laws so that we have some protections, but those protections only exist if your friends or family care. What are the preventative measures? Number one, friends and family. Friends and family. And if you are a adult and homeless male, it is obvious to God and everyone you do not have that support and are therefore easy to take advantage of, easy to abuse. Judges do this to us for profit. Cops do this to us for profit. Everyone in the system can use us for profit because we don't have any representation to make sure that these laws are actually followed. No police officer, no judge, no public pretender, no preacher or priest, no advocacy agency, no therapist followed the law through any of this. And that's the point. They don't have to. Because none of you actually care. You want to complain about how the world is while doing nothing to improve it. Matter of fact, people like Mandy Hughes, Kayla Trujillo, people like my dad, my little sister, my mother, did everything that they could to make things worse. Did everything that they could to help my predators get away. Each of them did it a little bit differently. Advice isn't help, especially when you don't know the situation. And if you're going to pass judgment without knowing the situation, you do not get to pretend like I'm a bad person for telling my side or for showing evidence that I was telling the truth and that you lied. Natalie Bollinger was angry because I told the truth. Mandy Hughes was angry because I told the truth. Alyssa Rainwater was angry because I told the truth. Scott DaCosta was angry because I told the truth. Leslie Snell was angry because I told the truth. You say honesty is the best policy until someone's honest about you. When you literally assist child molesters and rapists with getting away with it, when you knowingly and willingly and intentionally harm an innocent man, when you abuse him because of his genitalia, because he was born with different genitalia than you, or because it is socially acceptable to just blame everyone with that particular set of genitalia. You blame men. And it doesn't matter how many men get on Facebook and YouTube and say, hey, that's sexist, they're not going to take it down. It's because Facebook and YouTube are both sexist as well. You dare not say those things about women, or your channel will be taken down. Just one word's difference. The same thing goes for blaming white people. No joke, try it. Go to one of these posts or memes. It's anti-men. And then you copy and paste. You change one word. You change the word men to women. And all of a sudden you're a sexist. You're a horrible monster. You're a pig. All the names that we get called. They're sexist. Even the algorithms are sexist. Why don't I trust AI? Because it's still programming. We've already made our AI on Facebook and YouTube. What was it? 2 years ago, they were talking about the brand new AI that's going to do all the thinking for it. Look how much trouble it's caused already. And look how sexism is already ingrained into the programming. 2 letters difference between it being a hate crime against women or being socially acceptable. And this starts for every single one of us at birth. We are born to be blamed. We are born to be enslaved to your wants. We are born to go fight your wars and your battles. We are born to fight and die in servitude to women. Starting with genital mutilation and blame. The moment we are no longer inside of a woman. To be eternally shamed because we were born with a different set of genitalia. From the moment we come out of our mothers, you start committing heinous crimes against us. And then pretending that each and every one of us is trying to do that to you. No, I do not want your genitalia mutilated. Are you crazy? Common sense, people. When you're busy teaching every little girl that every little thing that happens not perfect in her life is men's fault, she could easily reach under her mattresses and grab that pee herself. She could sleep on that mattress instead of being a Karen. Find one man who won't admit to his wife being a Karen when he gets 5 minutes away from her. Just 5 minutes. There's a lot of men I know that will go shopping, absolutely, but they will not go shopping with their wives. It's an easy way to end up broke. It's an easy way to end up with nothing for yourself. We have taught women that sexism is okay, that it is a man's job and duty to live in servitude to her, regardless of circumstance. Women are more likely to be the predators in adult relationships, just so you know that. They're more likely to be physically violent. They're more likely to be stalkers, in both of those cases, by a lot. They're also more likely to be sexually predatory, because that's what they have been taught is acceptable behavior for them. You have taught them that there is a different set of rules for them than there is for men, and that they are not expected to follow those same rules. They are not expected to be held accountable for their behaviors, for their choices. We have taught them that all they have to do to be coddled is to play victim. You victimize a man, you slander his name, resulting in people being harmed, including death. And still, you think it's okay because my genitalia is different. Women are allowed to get horny or find a man attractive. However, if I tell the truth, a woman can pretend that I just want to have sex with her. Where's the evidence of me trying to have sex with anyone? Oh, gross. It's gross. It's gross. If y'all want to do gross things in the privacy of your own bedroom, whether you're straight or not is not my business. You guys swapping snot particles is not my business. Yeah, most of your bodily secretions, regardless of where they come from, are the consistency and molecular makeup of snot. It is mucus. It's gross. It's nasty. It's produced at both ends. That's on both males and females. It's gross. It's gross. I don't want to hear about you guys doing gross things. But then when you don't want, when you think that you should be allowed to destroy a man's name to the point that he is having people assault him and threatening to kill him and his family, when you allow a false narrative to be sold, knowing it is untrue, and you just look the other way, oh, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Yes, it is. You lied to people. You showed that the law doesn't matter. Bias does. There are more rights and more special interest groups for black folks now because people like me exist. People who stood up for black folks when it wasn't popular. People who stood up when it was happening. When it was happening, right then and there. Just like with Jamie, right then and there. And y'all think this stuff is okay. You think that mutilating boys, not even old enough to speak, and you're chopping their parts up. And you're running around blaming men. Do you not realize that that child is going to grow into an adult? That they're going to wonder why it is that they're being blamed for everything before they even know what their equipment's for? You teach us that boys and girls are different. Well, they are different. It's because you taught them ignorance. You did not teach your little girls the same things that you taught your little boys. While you taught your little boys it's never okay to hit a woman, you taught your little girls they get one for free. They get to punch a man for free and should be allowed to get away with it. Ain't enough problems here in the United States. You got to go elsewhere for problems, don't you? You want to avoid the mutilation of males in this country at birth, but you want to point over to Muslims elsewhere doing it. Well, maybe we should stop chopping boys up here. Maybe we should focus on our problems here before telling others how to live. Maybe we should stop murdering our own citizens before we complain about genocide elsewhere. Maybe we should stop murdering the poor before we complain about poverty elsewhere. Maybe we should stop complaining about tent cities around Mexico City, when here in the United States they will bulldoze it. Here in the United States, they will burn it down. Here in the United States, the United States of America, not Nazi Germany. This is happening right here in America, folks. And what are you doing about it? You're jumping on a bandwagon, flaming the fans of hatred. I spoke out when people did it to you in your groups. What makes you think for one moment I'm going to shut my mouth when people do it to me? I speak out about how wrong it is to rape women. What makes you think for one moment that I'm going to keep my mouth shut about me being raped? It's not going to happen. I spoke up for Jamie the moment she got hit in the head. Matter of fact, right before she got hit in the head, I was making a video where I was speaking out for her and her safety and the safety issues there. How it was run like a prison yard. And what'd that guy do? No sooner than I turn off the video than he is looking for violence with her. He shoved her. And then he pursued her. And then he socked her in the back of her head because she was trying to get away from him. At least 30 people there. And who spoke up? That video is called Jamie Again. Not only did I speak up, but I defused the situation. That man is twice my size, and I can't defend myself against him. But that's what it takes to stop it, then and there. And sometimes you're going to take some damage in the process. Sometimes when you're violent-minded, like Stephen McMillian, you end up getting stabbed twice with a K-bar. I got the x-rays of Stephen McMillian with that K-bar. In the x-ray, like it's going into his heart. He got lucky, it went behind his heart. He survived. The man who tried to kill him, his name was Monroe, and he was trying to victimize a 13-year-old girl under the Boulder Public Library. Was it the police who saved that little girl from that methed out drug addict? No, it was Stephen McMillian. What did he get for his troubles? Monroe served 8 months, was released, and he got to walk around Boulder, Colorado, where you're not supposed to have a blade over 3 inches. Officer Keith Steinman bought the man who tried to murder a 13-year-old and then tried to murder Mobley a brand new K-bar. Yeah, I'm happy about that, aren't I? Who speaks up? I do. I even speak up for you, even if you're a coward, even if you're a different color, or a different gender, or a different religion, or were born somewhere else. I fight for your rights as a human being. Why you trample mine because I'm not the right color to be a victim. I'm not the right gender to be a victim. Everything is my fault from the day I am born. And for my entire life, you're going to shove that on me. No matter what, it is always my fault. Because penis. Because I have a penis. I am to blame for all of the bad laws that are passed by child molesters and rapists in Congress. Somehow. The same as because of my skin color. It must be my fault, and I must be responsible for black people being slaves hundreds of years ago. I've never owned a slave. And I have been a slave in my lifetime. Good luck finding even one minority who has been beaten up as many times as I have been for the color of my skin. Good luck.